So, how can this be possible? One measly little person causing so much trouble. Come, bow before the mighty General Zondag, or feel my wrath.
The only thing I'm gonna feel is the ground shake after I knock you out. I'm gonna make sure your face hits the ground nice and hard.
Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play PK Out of the Shadows for the Sony PlayStation 2. Also available on Nintendo GameCube. We are now at the final battle with Zondag, after making our way through the mothership. We beat Zondag, we beat the game. And once again, I will read from the instruction manual. Zondag is the Evronian officer leading the attack on Earth. 100% committed to his duty, Zondag's job is to conquer this lowly planet and crush anyone who stands in his way. And with that, it's time to start the battle. First thing we need to do, charge up the charge shot. Now we need to send this ball at him with the charge shot. Him meaning Zondag. There will be some Evronians being sent at us, so we need to destroy them. And Zondag will summon some spider mines. We need to lure them over the edge here so that way we can get rid of them. After that, it's time to send the ball back at him. As we do this, we may have to deal with other Evronians of the surfing variety. We will need to zap them for health while also sending the ball at Zondag. And every time Zondag fails to send the ball back at us, the ball damages him and takes off a little bit of health from his health meter. Want to make sure that you have the aiming reticle on the ball here before you send the charge shot at it. Also, you want to be ready to fire in case you see the little burst of light to the sides of Zondag. So that way, you'll be able to see the surfing Evronians coming, and you'll be able to damage them and get some health. And after bringing Zondag's health meter down, we've only completed the first phase. It's time for phase 2. So here's what you do. Just like last time, you gotta hold R2 the entire time. I probably should have mentioned that in the first phase. Always hold down R2 while fighting Zondag. And you need to jump over all of the energy waves that Zondag sends at you. Well, the low ones anyway. There will be higher walls like the ones at the side here. And you'll need to strafe away from those. You'll need to switch between jumping and strafing while you're shooting at Zondag to bring down the barrier, ultimately shrink it with each and every shot you make. So that way, you can eventually send a charge shot back at him. That is how you damage him. You just shrink that barrier down while avoiding all the waves. And once that barrier's down, you can hit him with a charge shot. As you can see, I wasn't exactly fast enough because I didn't really take the energy waves into consideration there. And you want to watch where you're going too, because it is possible to fall off the edge of this platform that you're on. And if you die at any point, you are starting this whole battle over again. Also, the taller energy waves can block your shots, so you do need to be careful as you fight Zondag. Also, it is possible to go too far forward and make it so that the health pickups that you can get in this battle, impossible to grab. And as you go through this battle, the energy waves will get a little harder to dodge, and we just did it.
You've defeated me. Who are you?
Just call me PK.
Fantastic work, PK! You've saved the day and have become a true superhero. Now, overload those engines and get out of there. Well, that was a pretty good job you did up there, PK.
Oh, I knew it! I knew I could be a superhero all along! All I needed was the right equipment. Hey, thanks for giving me a chance.
Oh, no problem. Just tell me when you're ready to start your real training.
Okay. Can we just rest for a moment, please? I mean, saving the world takes a lot out of you, you know. How about some pizza?
Why not?
Oh, no! Is that what I think it is?
If that was supposed to be a hint at a sequel, it's kind of hard to tell, especially since we never got a sequel to PK Out of the Shadows. But there it is. That is the end of PK Out of the Shadows. I'm surprised I didn't die at any point during the second phase, because again, you die at any point, you're going all the way to the beginning of phase 1 all over again. Thankfully, if you know what you're doing, you can beat Zondag in about 4 or 5 minutes. Anyway, this game, where do I begin? It's not a bad game. It's not a horrible game either. It's okay. I've played better. Graphics are alright for what seems like a 2002 release. I believe this is a 2002 release. I could be wrong. Let me check the back of the box here. Back of the case. It is indeed 2002. So, graphics are quite alright for this point in the PS2's lifespan. Though they probably could be a little bit better, but at least you can tell what everything and everyone is supposed to be. They could be better, they could be worse. Sound and music. I do like what electronic music is going on over here, this electronic techno music that's going on, though you won't be remembering it long after you turn the game off, more than likely. Play control. I did not have problems with it. My only real gripe, aside from the camera, is the fact that you have to have a certain amount of energy to use the charge shot. It was a pain in the butt when I played this game the first time through, especially when you had to keep shooting the Avronians with the shields multiple times to get the health you needed for the charge shot, so that way you could hit them and take out their shields temporarily. But other than that, I didn't really have much of a problem. I didn't really like the fact that the camera was fixed, especially in open areas. And there's that very special thanks to the Italian magazine team of Disney Publishing Worldwide Accademia Disney. Yeah, told you this was from Italy. Even in open areas, you still had a very strict camera. And the only way I could really center myself was by pressing the R2 button, which you also use to strafe. And that usually gets the camera behind your back. Sometimes that worked, sometimes that didn't. It depended on how the camera was in the current location I was in. other than the camera and my gripe with having to have enough energy to use a charge shot, I really didn't have that much of a problem fighting off enemies for the most part. Sure, I kept getting shot in here and there, but that was more my fault than the game's. So, control is alright. I just wish the camera was better and that you didn't have to have energy, like a high amount of health, to use a charge shot. Replay value. What you've seen in this entire Let's Play is what you get. Once you've beaten this game, there's really nothing to keep you coming back. You may have little kids who will probably, or not exactly little kids, but younger kids who will probably want to play this again after going through it the first time, but there's really not much after the game that keeps you coming back. I mean, you may play it just to have a PlayStation 2 gaming marathon, but that's about it. And I might as well go into one of the gripes that I kept mentioning throughout the game again. The story. I wish there was more explanation to why you're doing the things that you're doing, aside from stop the Avronians from taking over the Earth, they're bad. Why does Donald Duck's voice change? Why are we going to the areas that we're going? Like, for instance, let me pick up my notebook and look for the stage names again, like the Science Lab, or the Frozen Mine, or Deep into Area 52, or Channel 00. Like, you're obviously chasing after the Avronians, but it kind of feels more like you're just going from one area to the next just because. And reading the enemy descriptions in the instruction manual, especially the one for Zoster. Zoster being a scientist with the thirst for power and choosing solutions that more benefit him, even though they comply with the orders received. Zoster doing things to better suit him. We could have gotten more of Zoster from that. We could have seen more of Zoster. We could have seen more of Zondag. But aside from the battles we had with those two guys, that's really all we get to see of them. I also wish we saw one more often. I mean, sure, one tells you stuff when it's most important, especially when you see a new enemy or you get an upgrade or something of that nature. But again, I wish he was telling you why you were going here or here or here, like I mentioned like 1 or 2 minutes ago. He doesn't, and I just wish there was more stuff going on between PK and 1. I wish there was more to the story other than the few cutscenes we've seen. And I'm just kinda let down because of that. And I just noticed that my headphones weren't plugged all the way in. At least I was able to see my microphone bar go up and down here on OBS. I'm actually looking at it right now, but, well, that's besides the point. Long story short, it's an okay game. I wish it were better. I feel like I played a PS2 game that was meant for PS1, that was meant for the original first PlayStation, and then was just moved to PlayStation 2 halfway into development and was just slapped on a blue CD-ROM instead of a silver DVD-ROM. I still think that if more resources were put into this game, we'd have more cutscenes, we'd have more dialogue, we'd have more to the story. We'd see Zondag and what's his name? I need to look him up again. Zoster. More times is just the times we fight them. Instead, we get an alright adventure with a story that feels kind of barely there. And while it's fun to play, you'll go through it in about an hour or two, and then you'll be wanting to play something else. Do I recommend getting this game? It's not terrible. I recommend giving it a shot. It may or may not be your cup of tea, but at least it's not horrible. But still, there are times where I wish that the game did more than just have you go from one level to the next and fight the occasional super bad guy. All of 2 moments. At least there's some difficulty in trying to get all 60 scientists, though. I mean, I didn't think I would get them all first try in every stage that I went to. Especially when the camera had me doing wraparound jumps and had me running towards the camera and hovering, hoping that I grabbed the ledge so I could get to the scientist in time. During that one section of that one stage early in the game where I had to get 3 scientists in a short amount of time before the purple ooze on them killed them, and I had to start the whole stage over just to do it again, and the camera was just super stubborn and broken and couldn't be moved, and I had to keep running towards it part of the time just for the wraparound jumps that I was doing to get said scientists. Anyway, if I were to speak anymore at this point, I'd probably be rambling. So, this has been Let's Play PK Out of the Shadows. Hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I did. You may have enjoyed a little more. Maybe. Who knows? Hopefully I'll be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad, maybe it'll be somewhere in between. Again, who knows? Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.